Sean Piper, the best filling in anyone's sandwich. It is a beautiful magic morning out there. Welcome, my friends, to Magic Mornings. I am your host, Dean. It's looking beautiful out there. It's springtime here in the Southern Hemisphere. We're going soon into summer. What have you got planned? What have you got planned for your summer? If your summer's in another 6 months' time, what have you got planned? Have you got plans? I've got a few plans. I've got three main plans for some of the things I want to achieve. I don't want to get the red V. I don't want to get the red from there to there. And I don't want to get a red head. I don't want that to be the colour of my head this summer. They're the three things I've got planned. See if I can get those three things done. No red V, no red there, no red head. Got to cover up more. You've got to cover up. I'm stupid. I am stupid, actually. Here's how stupid I am. I once loaned a mate of mine $7,000 to get a facelift. And now I can't get my money back because I don't know what he looks like. What have we got this week? This week we're looking at this. It's called RIP or RIP or Restored in Pieces by Cameron Francis. It's a card trick. It is great. This is a very, very smart, neat, clever little thing. I had a lot of fun playing around with this over the past couple of days. And we've done a performance which we'll zoom in on and do close up for you in a second. This is just a good bit. It's a good bit. And also considering the money, it's very inexpensive. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this. It's a couple of gaffed cards. Now, I don't mean sort of gaffed with moving parts like things we've looked at previously, like the wonderful Michael Chatelain trick, Matrix Art. I don't mean it's not bits that move, it's not flaps, not elastic, it's not slides. It's a good old-fashioned, traditionally printed trick card. A bit like a double facer, a bit like a double backer, or a split index, or a half and half. Right? There's all sorts of just gaff cards that are just gaff because that's the way they've been printed, not because there's any technology to them. This one has been gaffed in a really neat way, and it enables you to do a whole routine, not just some whimsical gag with a gaff card, but it'll nail people this. It's a very good routine. It's a torn and restored card routine with a difference. Instead of you tearing up the card and then restoring it piece by piece or restoring it in between your hands and you tear it and you put it between your hands, then it's restored. It's a restoration effect combined with a card sandwich effect. So the card travels from somewhere in the deck in between two jokers as the first phase, a signed card, and then you tear it up and you're going to do the sandwich again in pieces. So the pieces return to the sandwich piece by piece, and that's the restoration. So without further ado, let's zoom in, let's do a performance, and you can let me know what you think. Here we go. Well, I'm sure a lot of you out there have heard of a sandwich, right? It's a popular, easy-to-prepare convenience food available in lots of different places. Gas stations, Coles, Convenience Express. You can make one yourself if you're so inclined. If you're that way inclined. If you could be your hands, you can make one yourself. It's bread filling bread, isn't it? It's bread, and the filling can change, contrary to popular belief. You can have bread, cheese, bread. You can have bread, ham, bread. You can combine things. You can have bread, cheese, ham, bread. You can have bread, cheese, ham, bread, bread. You can have bread, jam, bread. Not a lot of people realise that you can also make a card sandwich. It's a bit like a normal sandwich, but it uses cards. Instead of bread, card. Instead of filling, card. Instead of bread, card. If you used ham in your sandwich, it would translate to a card in a card sandwich. If you used lettuce in your sandwich, it would translate to a card in your card sandwich. And if you wanted to use jam in a sandwich, it would translate in a card trick about sandwiches into a card. Let's have a look and see what's on top here. We've got, it's a card signed by Sean Piper. We're going to take that. That'll be like our filling. I'm just going to blow on that and I'm going to lose it somewhere down inside the middle of the deck. Now, inside here, we've got a couple of slices of bread. They're bread cards. A couple of jokers, right? There's a couple of jokers. Now, they will be, let's say they will be our bread. That's our bread, all right? I'm going to make a sandwich, but it's a magical sandwich. It's a magical sandwich. Look, we catch something in the magical sandwich. Could it possibly be? Yes! Yes, and thrice yes, it is indeed Sean the Filling, all right? And that's basically the first phase of Cameron Francis's wonderful RIP. Well, let's do the second phase now, the phase that takes all the money, the phase that takes all the credit. I'm going to put that card back in there as a sandwich, all right? So what I'll do is I'll show you what it'll look like. It's going to look like, well, I mean, it's going to look like this, isn't it? There'll be like a card there, and then there'll be a joke. It'll look like that. That's what a sandwich looks like. A sandwich card looks like, all right? Except I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do that in a very, very unusual way. A very, very unusual way. We're going to do it in pieces. We're going to tear Sean Piper up. It's like a weird illusion created by Chris Murphy. And he's going to come back. He's going to return to the sandwich piece by piece. I mean, he can't come back the first piece on its own. It's only 1/4. It's got to come back with a bit of oomph, a bit of magic. So the first time he comes back, look, I'll cast a shadow. The first time he returns in two, look, he's in 2 pieces there, right? He's in 2 pieces. If I can hold that card on there, 2 pieces. We're going to see if we can make him come back into 3 pieces. Look, there's 3 pieces, 3/4 of the Sean card. And now look, let's just see, let's have a look, hang on a minute. We'll cast a shot. Let's just see if we can do that last quarter. We can do the last quarter. Now, I know you don't believe it. But it's absolutely true. There he is, Sean Piper. All of your lettuce, ham, jam, cheese dreams come true. Well, there we go. That was the basic handling of Ripped and Restored or Restored in Pieces by... Rip or Restored in Pieces by Cameron Francis. There's 3 different... there's 3 versions, there's 3 handlings on the instructional download, which have been done very well. Cameron's doing it himself. It's very well shot, and he's a very engaging, likable guy. That handling that I did there... something like that's probably about the best one. The other 2 that he talks about I didn't like as much. The revelation of the final card at the end, there's a couple little handlings, one by Richard Sanders and one by him, and I didn't like either of them as much as I liked the basic handling there. It's a little bit of a tricky discrepancy move, that bit at the end, if you rewind back and watch. But obviously when you're burning it you can see it, but in the real world those kind of little moves go unnoticed. You'll see what I mean if you go back. Great little trick, fantastic. I had a lot of fun playing around with this. I will say a couple of things about it though. One, they shoot the performance in a bar, and I get it. You go to a bar, you ask permission to shoot, you use an iPhone, you've got your performance DVD, right? This trick or this particular version of a Torn and Restored doesn't really lend itself, in my opinion, to a upbeat, loud, noisy bar drunk situation. I just want to be doing Torn and Restored there. I'd do a piece by piece if that was me. This is an unusual sort of effect. It's an unusual marrying of 2 different ideas. And people have got to focus on it. They've got to focus on what it is. It's a card restoring in between 2 cards. It's coming back piece by piece. It's a good plot, but you've got to be sober to understand that. So or a little bit drunk to understand it. So it's a cocktail party, it's a sit-down thing. I think it's a pretty good online thing, to be honest with you. I think you can get away with this on your Zoom shows and things, as long as you figure out a way to sign the card for the people. Say, what's your name? I'll write it down. Say any word in English language, keep it clean, and you write the word down. I've had a few thoughts about how sign cards translate to Zoom shows, but I'm sure we'll all figure it out if Zoom shows even continue, which hopefully they won't. We can get back to reality. So yeah, fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, for the money, I think it's got amazing bang for its buck. I really, really do. Who's buying it? Well, there's a few slights in there, isn't there? You're going to need to have a basic knowledge of the intermediate workings of card magic. There's a few bits and pieces in there. It doesn't really get any harder than what I did there in the presentation. So have a little bit of a think about it. It's not self-working by any means, but nor should it be, because it is a very exciting effect. So there we go. That's RIP or Restored in Pieces by Cameron Francis. Highly recommended this week. I'll see you next time. I haven't even had a drink yet, have I? Cheers. That tastes like sandwiches.